Only two things that'll really stop a car from warming up properly, at least this era. Either your fan clutch is stuck on, that's probably the case, or your thermostat's stuck open. I don't have a fan clutch. I do have a thermostat, so we're gonna do that today. It is very cold today, -18. Now, the steering wheel's -4. But listen to this now. We're gonna start her up. Oh yeah, that's how you know it's a Chevy. Starts right up, no matter what the temperature is. Well, it doesn't hurt to have a brand new Napa Pro battery in here. I think Napa still makes good stuff, maybe. You need a few things for this job. You need some coolant, gasket, thermostat, maybe some of that. Not completely necessary. And then you need some ratchets and sockets, and an extension helps because you got to take these two bolts off, pop that off, clean up the gasket surface, throw your new one on, thermostat in, back together. It should be good to go. Fill with coolant, and that's all there is to it. Bolts here are 1/2 on this engine, probably pretty close on most Chevys. When you start to take this off, you might get some fluid leaking out of here. So just throw a little drain pan under there, catch whatever we drip. I gotta switch out to a deep well for this nut, because the first top nut just held this little clamp on. Got all the bolts out. I set our new thermostat up here. If this one is stuck open, you're gonna see the spring compressed. This little valve is up. A little bit of coolant loss, not much. Pull this guy out, and thermostat looks fine, which means it's my fan clutch. Great. Now here's the deal. I cleaned up the old gasket on the housing here, and I also cleaned up the edges of the housing, not because I care how it looks, but I want to see if it leaks when I put it all back together. I'm gonna put it back together without that stuff first. I bought this thermostat housing gasket, and it's kind of a one-size-fits-all deal, so it's way too big for the overall housing, so it's gonna look like trash, but I really don't care about that. It's gonna function like it needs to. Now, when you're reassembling these, if you forget which way your thermostat goes, you always put the spring side toward the engine. And the reason you put that side engine down is because the coolant in the engine heats up and it makes that spring release so that the coolant in the radiator can fill, and it starts to cycle through the radiator to cool everything down. So if you installed it upside down for some reason, like this, you might be able to get your housing on, but it's not going to function properly. So make sure you always go the correct direction with these guys. One more point. There's a little recess in this housing. It's because the thermostat goes in first, and then the gasket goes over it like that. Clean up a little bit. There you go. It's new. That's all installed. Got my nut back on, holding these lines. See, the gasket just looks like trash, but if it holds, it holds. I got to fill some coolant here. We're a little bit low. And if that gasket doesn't work because it's a weird size, I'll probably just end up doing a gasket with this stuff. There's all this snow on the ground, and this truck doesn't have one of those 4WDs in it. It's just got the 2-wheel drive in the rears. People who say you need 4-wheel drive are naysayers. Throttle control, some patience, and you'll get most places in 2-wheel drive. See, that's about as warmed up as we're gonna get, just between, you know, the 100 and the 210, so somewhere around not hot enough. Warmish air at 31 degrees, -4.5 on the dashboard. So, I mean, I suppose a 40-degree difference is better than nothing, but it's still not as hot as I would like it to be. Definitely gonna have to replace that fan clutch. We've driven about 5 miles, but check it out, no leaks. So it's a job well done on the thermostat. Fan clutch is next. Stay tuned for that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But if we check our little heater thing here, we're blowing warmish air at 31 degrees.